Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to Stormgate Central. So in today's video, I want to discuss Frostgiant's business model for Stormgate. If you've been paying attention to the subreddit, especially over the past couple of days, it can't have escaped you that a lot of folks there are disgruntled at what they perceive to be a bait and switch from Frostgiant Studios following their announcement of them seeking additional funding for Stormgate via crowd-funded investment. We've also got a response from Frostgiant themselves on the matter, which should help clarify things a little bit going forward and avoid any information getting misconstrued in the future. And then, of course, if you missed the Kickstarter campaign for Stormgate and you still want to support the game and get your hands on a beta key, you can now do that. Guys, before we get started, as always, if you do enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Lots more Stormgate content to come here in the future. We are actually coming up on the 2,000 subscribers already, which is crazy, so thank you guys so much for showing me your support. Alright, so firstly here, if you head over to Indiegogo.com, and there will be a link to this in the description below, you can now become a late backer for the Stormgate Kickstarter. Now, there are only 3 pledge tiers available, basically the most popular ones. So we have the Deluxe Founders Pack for $40, the Ultimate Founders Pack for $60, or the Collector's Edition with the model statue Vulcan for $200. Now, all of these packs do contain the beta key that will get you access to the ongoing test at the moment, which ends on March the 11th, and of course, all of the subsequent tests afterwards up until early access this summer, including testing out the tier 3 units and the third faction. I suspect that's what most of you will be interested in. You can also upgrade your pledge by essentially buying a new one and then getting a refund for your old pledge. So, you know, if that's something you wanted to do, then now you can. I'm not sure when this campaign runs out, but there is around 15,000 or so packs up for grabs, and there's less than 1,000 gone so far, so there's no stress on that front. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, Frostgiant have a bit of a controversy swirling around them at the moment, which began with their announcement that they would be offering shares in the company to private investors like me and you. The reason that this has rubbed a lot of folks the wrong way is that they'd already secured funding from a number of large companies to the tune of $37 million. They then launched a somewhat unexpected Kickstarter campaign with the specific goal of raising funds to provide a physical collector's edition of Stormgate, which is something that had been requested by fans, but they also said, "We have received countless requests for beta access. Scaling online multiplayer testing for a massive audience can get very expensive beyond what we can support without additional funding. This campaign will allow us to welcome many more players to playtest Stormgate as a reward for directly supporting the studio." So what they're saying here is that without more money to pay for servers, they can't afford to invite additional beta testers. But the sentence that is really getting people's backs up, I think, is that Stormgate is fully funded to release, and that is a sentence we've heard many a time over the past couple of weeks, which has since become known to mean until the initial release, aka early access this summertime, at which point Frostgiant's business plan is to allow everyone into the game for free, and then they're going to begin selling in-game content such as campaign missions and probably cosmetics and things like that, which should ensure a steady stream of revenue and ultimately the continuation of the game, which will certainly hinge on how many players they manage to attract. However, I think most people, including myself, assumed that they were talking about the full release of the game here, that they were financially covered well into 2025, which is, I believe, when the game is slated to have its full release. So I can understand, you know, why some people feel like they've been misled by Frostgiant. The wording on the Kickstarter is very easy to misconstrue or misinterpret, and I certainly feel like they have lost some trust from some of their audience here. However, this new opportunity for people to become investors, they have specifically said will fuel a marketing campaign. Now, we already knew that Frostgiant were putting all of their money directly into the development of the game, so that when they said the game was funded until release, I understood that as the development costs of the game, not server costs, marketing, and etc. So this actually makes perfect sense to me. The Kickstarter was used to cover some server costs and the collector's edition, and up until now, all of the marketing done on the game, as far as I'm aware, has been done for free by content creators. But clearly, spending some money on a marketing campaign, especially around early access, when you launch your in-game shop and you want as many players as possible, it is probably a smart thing, and that's what this investment plan is going to go towards. Now, let's also remember that both of these things are entirely voluntary. Nobody has to become a Kickstarter backer, and nobody has to invest in Frostgiant. You guys simply do what you think is right. After all, it is your money. Now, Frostgiant have reacted to this situation here, and what they say is, please note that we are working on an update to what early access means for Stormgate, a roadmap laying out our path to 1.0 and clarifying how we plan to support ongoing development into the future. So that is exactly what I feel the community needs right now. I really feel like that is the crux of the worries for most players. How are Frostgiant planning to support ongoing development into the future if the money they already have will only lead them up to early access? And hopefully we will get some answers from them soon, and when we do, I will be sure to share it with you guys here on the channel. So make sure you are subbed up so you don't miss out on that one. But in the meantime, if you want to see just how Parting won this $10,000 tournament, check out this series here between him and Probe. It was an absolute banger. But otherwise, thank you for watching the video today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.